welcoming everyone. You know what time it is. It's that time of week. It's a Saturday coming up towards 3 p.m. moment we're a couple of hours away from kick-off. So it's the Stones versus Spireites. Top of the table Chesterfield here at the Gameday Stadium. Maidstone United up against them. Struggling in defence, but let's get into the stats. But before that, let's do the weekly Maidstone. So let's kick off then. One Luke. Well, we've got some news this week, a bit of a mixture. We knew that towards the end of last season, Luke had that injury away at Dartford on Maidstone's route to the Championship in the NLS. But things went a bit balls up. Luke got that injury, twisted knee, away game at the Princes Park, Dartford towards the end of last season. He's had the operation, which we already know, but he had a couple of weeks setback on that. It's recovering quite well. He was doing his training, exercising at the Gallagher, and then moved on back to Spain with his family to recuperate and continue on with his injury, trying to get the strength back up on his knee and stuff. So yeah, he chilled out with the family, doing his daily exercises, and now, as you know, the Maidstone game, he was back at the Gallagher Stadium, and he's been back here since. We see him at Bromley at the end of the game in our 3-0 defeat last weekend. But there is a twist in the tail on that one. He's back. He was due to be back this coming January, so the training's going quite well with the knee. It's coming on $1 million, and he was due to be back in training with the lads and be back in the first team ready for the end of January, beginning of February next year. But we didn't know that until this week that Luke was playing with a hernia from January last season en route for Maidstone, having injections weekly to keep him going till the end of the season, where Maidstone won the league. But that hernia now is still there, and they're debating, which we should have known this weekend, but we will update you as soon as we know. Could possibly well have an operation on his hernia, which is going to set him back another 2 months. So you're looking like maybe towards the end of March if he's got to have an operation on the hernia. But then, even that, to recover, to be back in March, there's a great possibility if that operation goes ahead. We may not see Luke at all this season, so he may need to recover for the whole of the rest of the season, so we may not see him until pre-season for the 23-24 season. But he said he may take a risk if Maidstone are pushing maybe for playoffs or down the bottom there in a relegation battle. But really, for me, I don't think it's worth him coming back until next season. If he's got to have this operation, it's not worth risking his career on it. But we'll keep you updated on that, whether he's got to have the operation or not. So if he doesn't, there's a possibility he may then still be back in January, but if not, it could well be March, or maybe not at all this season until the start of pre-season in July. So moving on then, the rest of Maidstone Weekly. Last Sunday, the under-13s, under-15s played a game here. It's their first games of the Kent Youth League in the MUFC community matches. The under-13s, well, brilliant start, kicking off 7-0 victory there over Kings Hill, whilst the under-15s got a victory also 5-0 here at the Gallagher against a team called Long Lane. Moving on though, don't forget, pop in the club shop, buy online. The MUFC new training tops are available, all sizes, not sure the prices, but you can get them at the club shop or online. Look quite smart. Right, Supporters Club then are running coaches, or looking forward to running coaches, should they get enough support on it, to October 1st, the BT Sport Live game, Maidstone away at Bourne Wood. Saturday, October 1st, that's an evening kick-off due to the BT Sport camera game, 5:20 in the evening kick-off there. Contact him, I won't put his number up on screen here, but if you go into the club shop and go onto the website, not the club shop, go on the Maidstone United website, you can get Tim Murrell's number there. and book on the coaches then for Bournemouth away Saturday 1st October, and also they're hoping to do one for the Tuesday night game October 4th away at the Hive Barnet's game against Maidstone. Both trips, if you book on the coach, are 20 quid members, 25 quid non-members. But coaches depart in Royal Engineers Way bus stop here near the ground. So with the 5:20 p.m. kick-off then, you need to be arrive at 1:45 in the afternoon then for the Maidstone coach. The Brookline coaches then for the away trip at Bournemouth for the Saturday. Coach departs 2 p.m. and for the Barnet game, that's a 4:45. You need to be at Royal Engineers Way for a 5 p.m. departure. So don't forget, if you can't get there, especially on Saturday, October 1st, when there's a train strike, book on the coaches for Tim, contact him via the club website. I won't give the number out on here due to personal terms for him, but yeah, check that out and book on the coaches if you want to do that one. Finally, Stone's Quiz Night comes up Thursday 29th September, next Thursday that one is coming up. Be in the Spitfire Lounge 7 o'clock for a 7:30 p.m. start. It's £5 a person, then 6 persons per team. You bring in your own food and snacks and stuff, and drinks are available to buy from the bar in the Spitfire Lounge. Cash prizes in for winners and other spot prizes there during the night. You can fill out the form and submit via the MUFC website, and to do that, if you go on the Maidstone United Football Club website, then click on the box in the top right hand corner with the lines going across, go into community, events, and then quiz night, and that one you can roll down the bottom there, fill out the form and submit. Finally then, moving on to finish off Maidstone United weekly updates. Energy saving crisis, whether Maidstone are going to do it or whether other clubs are going to do it or not, but Mansfield Town are the first team in EFL, or the first team in English football, to go ahead and do this to save energy. They're going to do it as a trial to see how the attendances are for supporters and how the cost of floodlights saving will impact the club. It's just going to be a trial for 1 week. That's their home game then. EFL 2 Mansfield Town at home to Walsall, Saturday October 15th. It's been moved from a 3 p.m. normal kickoff to 1 p.m. in the afternoon, just to figure out and see how that works by not using floodlights to save energy. Is it going to work? Is it not? Who knows? But it's going to do a trial and see what the impact is on the crowd attendance as well for a 1 p.m. kickoff instead of 3 p.m. Could this be the first, and if it works, of many clubs doing this, considering the dark nights now chasing in for the winter coming along? Yesterday, Friday, was the last day of summer. Autumn solstice starts, and yeah, all that work, all that sea of many more games then kicking off early to save the cost of floodlights if it works out. So that's everything done and dusted there, Maidstone Weekly. Let's get into the stats then. Kicking off first of all with FotMob. Great app, gives you everything you need to know during the games coming up a week in advance and in the past. All teams from the UK, all teams from around the world. So let's first of all get into team form then. Maidstone home against Chesterfield today. We'll put that up on screen, the five matches then, team form. Not great for Maidstone, not 1 in 3 games, conceding 8 goals, scoring only 2. Previous to that, 2 wins with 4 goals in it overall for Maidstone. Chesterfield, in the meantime though, Spireites, they're top, undefeated, 1 point ahead of Wrexham, who are in second, 1 point behind so far this season. Last 5 then, 4 wins in a row up until last Saturday. They were 2-0 down, I believe, against Yeovil, but came back to draw 2-2 with the last second goal to bring the equalisers to keep their undefeated run going. Here are then the National League positions between the two teams then. First Chesterfield then, Maidstone in 15th, Put up the insights then. Maidstone 6 goals in the last 5 matches, whilst bloody hell, Chesterfield are double that. They're 12 goals now in the last 5 games. Can we stop them, the Spireites, running riot today here at the Gallagher? Season so far, sticking it up for you. Chesterfield head these stats then by a country mile. Goals per match then, Chesterfield 2.11, whilst Maidstone are down there at 1.22. Goals conceded per match then, Chesterfield have only conceded just over 1 goal a match, 1.11 there, whilst Maidstone are in the 2s, 2.22 goals per match on average. 3 clean sheets then, Chesterfield, Maidstone have only had 1 so far. Biggest then win for Chesterfield, a 3-1 at home to Barnet. 0 losses for them, whilst Maidstone's biggest win was 3-1 at the EBB away at Aldershot Bank Holiday Monday. Biggest loss then, no losses then for Chesterfield. They're going unbeaten. Can we alter that today? But Maidstone's biggest loss then was a racecourse ground. We went to that one, that was 5-0 against Wrexham. And the Footballogy app, one premium ones, $1.99 a year, I guess, gives you can check in at the grounds, got everything around Europe as well. Let's show you that then, the full National League table as it is right now. After 9 matches, today is game week number 10. So as we already know then, Chesterfield ahead of Wrexham, they're top, holding everyone up. Or everyone below them, everyone's down below their Chesterfield. Leading the way, 21 points and unbeaten. Wrexham close second, 1 point behind Chesterfield, Spireites with 20 points. Third place thing in there, Solihull, the Moors, 18 points. Ahead on goal difference over 4th place, Notts County, while 5th place, Boreham, the Wood. Both also on 18 points. Maidstone 6th then, 16 points, ahead of Bromley on goal difference, who occupy the last playoff spot then after 9 matches. So Maidstone there, 15th, 11 points. The second worst team then, with the amount of goals conceded this season, 20 goals Maidstone conceded, second worst in the league, behind Dorking Wanderers, who have conceded 21 goals this season. Yo man, yeah, cool. So, can we improve that today? I don't know, very unlikely, but you never know what's going to happen. If the teams are on form, anyone can beat anyone in this league, whether Chesterfield are top or not. Maidstone are on form, which they need to do to get back into it. Could well beat Chesterfield today. We know that last time they played here it was 1-1, but who knows? Maidstone were already relegated by them with that 4-1 away loss last played at Chesterfield. The last time was in National League, but who knows? Anyone can beat anyone on the day here in National League. Bottom 4 then read like this: 21st place in FC Halifax Town, 8 points. They trail Yeovil Town and Torquay United, who both have a better goal difference. They're both also on 8 points. 22nd then, 3rd bottom, Gateshead, the Heed, 7 points. 23rd place, Scunthorpe, who move up 1 place off bottom spot with 5 points, with a better goal difference than bottom side Altrincham, by a +2 goal difference, who also have 5 points, are also winless this season. All their 5 points have come in with draws, starting off with that 1-1 draw at home to Maidstone beginning of the season. Right, let's check in, let's put in the head-to-head games between the two teams in for you from the previous 8 meetings. 2 wins then for Maidstone, 1 draw, 5 wins for Chesterfield over the previous 8 meetings. The oldest meeting, and we've got up on screen the first 4 matches. The oldest meeting between the Stones and the Spireites was at the now new demolished Watling Street, where Maidstone ground share with Dartford. It was a Division 4 game back in September '89. Well, that's looking back away now. Maidstone losing 1-0 at home then at the ground share at Watling Street to Chesterfield. The Chesterfield then won 3-1 in Division 4, February '90. Also a demolished ground at their old ground, Saltergate. Back at Watling Street again, where we ground share with Dartford back in those Division 4 days, January 91. Maidstone got a 1-0 victory and are victorious again in their next meeting, this time at Saltergate, which is now demolished. Home to Chesterfield, it was Chesterfield 1, Maidstone United 2. So that puts up the first 4 matches, heading into the last 4 games then between the two sides. Before today's game, Maidstone have only picked up 1 point against the Spireites, losing 3-0 then at the old ground, Saltergate, August 91 in Division 4. Then another loss, Division 4, Watling Street, ground share with Dartford, December 91, Maidstone lost it there 1-0 against the Spireites. Well, hallelujah, finally, that 1 point arrives for the first ever meeting at the Gallagher Stadium in National League, with 1 goal apiece at Maidstone here at the Gallagher Stadium. Then the very last meeting then between the two teams was April 2019, National League. I think Maidstone were all relegated then in April 2019. That was our 3rd and final season, last time in National League. That game took place then at the Technique Stadium, Chesterfield's current ground, which is now renamed due to sponsorships as the Proact Stadium in National League, where the Spireites defeated Maidstone 4-1. It was a great day out, really enjoyed that one, apart from the result. Great friendly pub though across from the ground there at Chesterfield is called the Glassworks, welcoming home and away fans. Great time last time we was in there, and yeah, great place to pop in. There's only just across from the stadium ahead of the game. We'll be doing that the last game of the season. It's National League 1 coming up, I think in May or the back end of April. So check it in then to finish off. Here's the satellite hybrid view in the Gallagher Stadium and surrounding areas. The standard view. And just to finish off then for the weekly Maidstone and the stats then for another week on Spiky Balmy Eye. The very close-up view of the Maidstone United Gallagher Stadium here, Maidstone, Kent. Right, that wraps everything up then this week for another one. We'll catch you during the game here at the Gallagher Stadium, Maidstone. The Stones are home to Chesterfield, top of the table, Spireites.